Hey, what's up, my ninjas? Yeah, I didn't have time to do, the regular video today, so I decided I'm gonna do a reaction video to one of my favorite channels, Manosphere Daily Highlights. And he has a video titled Women Feel Invisible After Riding the Hot Dog Carousel. That is too funny, my ninjas. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Get into it? Yeah, that sounds straight.
There's a lack of romance. I don't know if men, I don't want to generalise, but it feels like they've given up on romance. There's no like courting, like take you out for dinner, compliments make you feel beautiful. It was kind of like all they wanted was...
Yes. For decades, we were told the sexual revolution set women free. More freedom, more autonomy, no more shame.
I was approaching my 70th birthday, and I was just in terror of becoming invisible, I think. And I felt like I needed...
Becoming? Man, just hold up a mirror and tell me if you see her in it. You ain't even there. What you talk? She feel invisible. You are invisible. Look like, the fuck is she saying? Bitch, I can't even see you. Talking about feel invisible. No, you are invisible. And it's okay. Your time has passed. Yeah.
Battery jump.
But watch what happens when the women who actually lived through it and the women who inherited it sit in the same room and start talking honestly.
Gosh.
It didn't personally for me.
Three-generational
I was
hoes.
lucky enough for when I turned 18, I was still able to go to the clubs. I was still able to go out and hook up when I wanted to.
3 women, 3 generations. One built the new world, one inherited it. One got caught between the two. Different lives, different starting points. And by the end, all 3 arrive at exactly the same place.
How cool.
Ain't that a man?
Gail, you're 71. Last year you hired a male escort. Why?
I was approaching my 70th birthday, and I was just in terror of becoming invisible, I think.
Becoming invisible, man. I mean, we could hear what she's saying, but just like John Cena, can any of you see her? I know none of you can see her. We just hearing words. What you talking about, man, ninjas?
And I felt like I needed a battery jump. So it came down to 2 options, a parachute jump or an escort. And so
You
I
should
chose
have
the
parachute
escort.
jump. Should have
How
parachute.
long had it been since you'd been sexually intimate?
About 5 years. I stopped on the dating apps when I was 65. Just dying of boredom, really.
Was it what you expected?
It was incredibly disappointing. I asked exactly for what I wanted. I wanted an erotic massage and an orgasm, and he agreed he could do that. And I spent 2.5 hours basically with something that felt like a remedial massage, and him sort of lying his head on my shoulder as if he wanted me to pat his head. So there was nothing happening, and I asked him to leave.
Did you feel like you got your money's worth?
Definitely not. It was a lot of money. And I...
This is pure gold.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel sorry for that ninja, bro. Yeah. He probably just couldn't get into it because of how she looks, man. He was just there like, oh my God. Feel bad for him, man. How hard that must have been. My ninjas, just picture old ass lady. Coochie, bro. Ooh.
spent the night sort of tossing and turning. I woke up the next morning and I thought, I'm going to write him a note and say how disappointed I was. And we'd made a clear transaction. I felt he hadn't delivered. And I was basically writing to say I was disappointed. Just as a PS on the bottom, I just said,
I guarantee he gave our money back.
would he consider a refund? And within 15 minutes, he texted me back and said, yep, it hadn't worked well, and I got a full refund.
How did it feel when you got that refund?
Yeah. He didn't know what he was signing up for. He probably felt bad after he got there and realized, damn, how am I gonna do this? Couldn't make it through, and he probably just felt bad.
I felt really empowered. And for the first time probably in a lot of years sexually, I was able to say, that's not good enough.
That might be one of the saddest admissions in the
It is.
entire documentary. Not because she hired an escort, because of why she hired one. She wasn't chasing excitement. She was trying to feel visible again. Now here's the fascinating part. Instead of asking how she ended up here, the documentary takes us back to where it all began.
You grew up in the late 60s. What was your introduction to sex like?
Pretty mediocre. I think because we were sort of challenging all the values our parents had, I think it was sort of expected we'd have sex very early and just keep having sex with a lot of people. So I had sex with someone when I was 15, and I just had numerous partners through my teens and early 20s, fairly unsatisfactorily, I think.
So the sexual revolution didn't necessarily mean a good sex life for everyone?
We got the pill.
It wouldn't be because it's not. Women don't experience sex how we do, right? Ninjas could just hop in the coochie, and as long as we get the bus, and it's going to happen to us because all of our nerve endings is in the head. So we normally going to come first, right? After Ninja fire that juice, we good. Women need to be caressed, they kiss foreplay, they need connection and all that shit. Of course it's going to be disappointed.
So it meant freedom. It meant that we were free and open to do it. I think what we didn't do, though, was think about what we're doing. Or I didn't question what I wanted, or it just was something you just did as a sort of a rite of passage. And look, some of it was great, but it was thoughtless, I'd say.
Uh-oh, listen carefully to what she just admitted.
I didn't question what I wanted, or it just was something you just did as a sort of a rite of passage.
Sit with that for a second. This isn't a woman regretting freedom. It's a woman admitting that her generation wasn't asking long-term questions. The old rules were being rejected, and the new ones simply felt like progress. They weren't handed today's dating market. They built it in real time without a blueprint. And everything you're about to hear from the next two women unfolds downstream of that one remarkably honest sentence.
Alyssa, you're 24. Growing up, what influenced your views on sex and intimacy?
I think being a teenager and a young adult from the 2010s to the 2020s kind of had a big impact on my life. Constantly being subjected to the media, it was like a big time of female empowerment and women finally getting autonomy over their bodies and saying, oh, I can go out and I can freely have sex and not feel ashamed about it. I feel like that's what kind of encouraged myself and my peers to be a bit more, I guess, open with sex. It was more normalized. So I kept going and was a part of hookup culture, casual sex.
You just heard how young Gen Z men came to calling women ran through or a bop.
And he was sort of talking about the ways that young men in his cohort talk about women, and he was using terms like bop and ran through and like things that really are not very friendly to women. Yeah, ran through was really the term that stuck with me.
What mean not friendly to women? If that's what you are, oh, it's not friendly, it's just the truth. Yeah, the women don't understand, right? It's so easy for them to get some to get some D, right? So whenever they give it up easy, it's like, oh, well, shit. You're a waste girl. Yeah, she's a waste. You tell me. You imagine, right, being a woman having something that every ninja wants and you give it away to multiple people? Yeah, you're a waste girl.
Term BOP.
A BOP is a slang term primarily used to describe a young woman who is perceived as promiscuous or immodest. This perception often arises from having multiple sexual partners or presenting oneself in a revealing manner on social media.
If Gail built the foundation, Alyssa was simply born standing on it. Hookup culture isn't something she consciously chose. It's the only dating landscape she's ever known. Notice something else. Marriage isn't even part of her vocabulary yet. It's not something she's rejecting. It's simply absent. That's how far we've traveled in just a few generations. And yet, watch where she ends up anyway.
And it wasn't after a couple of years of that until I entered a serious relationship that I kind of realized, okay, is it really the sex I want, or is it that kind of deep emotional intimacy that I was lacking? And to me, it kind of opened my eyes that maybe the media has kind of shoved in our faces too much that sex isn't a unique thing and it should be a form of intimacy and a big bond between you. And
The youngest woman in this documentary, raised entirely inside the system her grandmother's generation built, is asking the exact same question Gail is asking at 71. She just got there faster.
Christy, you were married for 3 years. Can you relate to Tess and Craig's experience?
Oh yeah, definitely. But I don't know what the ins and outs of their marriage was. However, mine was quite turbulent from the get-go. I moved overseas to be with someone and I sacrificed my whole life for this person. I left everyone I love, everything safe and comfortable to me, and just the issues started quite immediately, and that made me not want to be intimate with my partner because I was just like so upset and resentful all the time, and it felt like housemates.
Christy is the hinge between these two worlds. She's the only one of the three who actually experienced something resembling the older model, a marriage, a committed relationship. Then she got divorced and was thrown straight into the dating market her own generation helped reshape.
Yeah. You then re-entered the dating world when you were in your mid-30s. What were you looking for?
Rough.
I don't know what I wasn't looking for something too serious yet, but I was putting myself out there for possible connection, maybe a fling, I don't know. I wanted to feel like someone was attracted to me again.
And what was it like?
Disappointing. There's a lack of romance. I don't know if men, I don't want to generalise, but it feels like they've given up on romance. There's no like courting, like take you out for dinner, compliments make you feel beautiful. It was kind of like all they wanted was sex. And no, it was kind of like a, how honest should I be here? Kind of like 2 minutes and they're done, you know?
Well, hold on, wait. Hold on, my ninjas. Oh, that means Becky got some elite coaching. 2 minutes? Come on. Give it up for 2 minutes. Yeah. That is elite coaching right there. Yeah, boy. She shouldn't even be angry. She did a bunch of ninjas a service. You know, a lot of ninjas have never experienced elite coaching. But that right there, proof is out there, my ninjas. Proof is out there. Too bad you ran through.
And I'm left unsatisfied, and what did I get out of the experience?
Yo, that ninja like, oh, I love to hear this shit. He's like, this is what y'all wanted. Huh? We told y'all wouldn't like it. You tell us, don't tell you nothing. You're strong and independent. You don't need no man. You can do your own thing. Right? But this is where women mess up, my ninjas. Thinking that they can operate like us. That's the problem. You're going to give us what we want without no commitment, and then you expect us to... Oh, you crazy. That's why we approached you in the first place, for some yams. Y'all used to withhold the yams for us to commit to you, and then over the time that we took committing to you, we start to like you. But now, we don't have to do that shit. Y'all just giving it away for free. You single ninjas are living a life right now, man.
They didn't care about me being satisfied, having an orgasm. Actually, all I got from it was a UTI and bad pH balance.
After that experience, what did you decide to do?
I just decided I want to retract and not sleep with anyone anymore because
The manosphere over there dying with laughter. God damn, bro, shit.
I decided to protect my peace, my energy, and my pH balance.
Oh, this guy made my day. His face when she was talking about 2 minutes and done. Pure gold. He's the reason why you hear me laughing in the background. Let me buy you a beer, brother. This is the collision point. Unlike Alyssa, Christy has something to compare it against. She remembers a version of dating where romance came before intimacy. That's why her disappointment lands differently. She knows exactly what's missing because she used to have it. 3 women, 50 years apart. One helped build the new world. One inherited it. One got caught between the two. Different generations, different lives, same destination. They all arrive at exactly the same conclusion. They want to be seen.
Gail, you used dating apps into your 60s. Why did you stop?
I stopped because I felt bored, I think is the best way to put it. And I got really tired of men talking about their ex-wives, their dead wives, their superannuation, their golf scores. And I just thought, there's not many fish in this pond
This is pure gold.
that I'm very interested in. So that was 65 and getting to 70, and it's about connection. I think that's the key reason I actually made that call to the escort. Not so much about sex, it was about being seen. Myself as a sensual, sexual person, and it was about being seen by someone else. That real terror of being invisible, not just sexually, but as a person.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a hookup in between, and that just reminded me why I haven't been hooking up with anyone. It just was a disappointment. I guess I've learnt that I really want to get to know someone as a person and forge a connection before I dive into that again, because it is not fulfilling. If I've known someone a week or 2, 3, gone on a few days, it's not fulfilling. So I'm changing the way I do things.
Are you still part of the hookup culture?
Not anymore, no. I am lucky enough to have found a partner, and even before that, after exploring my sexuality and discovering that sex wasn't all that I made it out to be, and so it slowly died down until I found a partner and then started having sex with my current partner, that I realised that sex to me is all about the love and the deep intimacy between one another.
They want real connection, not performance, not transaction, connection. And here's the uncomfortable part. When society told women to hop on the hot dog carousel, nobody stopped to ask what that would do to men. The foolishness. Because men aren't passive participants in this equation. We have standards too. Romance isn't something women automatically receive. Romance is an investment. It's something men choose to give when they believe someone is worth investing in. If sex becomes something that's freely available before commitment, the incentive to court, pursue, and romance.
What did I just say, my ninjas? Yeah. If the reason we approach a woman is for some yams. Any other man who say, oh no, I just looked at her and I just wanted to speak to her, I want to get to know her, is a goddamn liar. And that's the type of ninjas you can't trust. You know what I'm saying? But our main reason for approaching a woman is to get some yams. We could all agree to that, right? And then if you do get the yams, why would you commit? What is there to commit? You already got what you wanted. Yeah, she was a fool for not letting you wait and getting to actually know her. See, that's how Mrs. Ninja caught me, my ninjas. When you see women with self-respect, that's what they do to you. They make you fall in love, you end up getting married. They start whooping your ass in videos and shit. Trust me, it's a good life, but it's scary sometimes. You can't even say if it ain't. You understand what I'm saying? Damn, now I almost pissed myself talking.
Tends to weaken. You don't have to like that, but that's exactly what Christy just described. She wasn't complaining that men wouldn't sleep with her. She was complaining they wouldn't romance her. Markets respond to incentives. If commitment is no longer required before intimacy, fewer people will invest in commitment first. That doesn't just change women, it changes men too. And once both sides adapt to those incentives, everyone starts wondering where the romance went. None of these women were asking for more casual sex. None of them were asking for more freedom. By the end, they were all asking for intimacy.
I think because we were...
Basically, also, that's why simps are simps nowadays, right? Because there was nothing wrong in spoiling a woman, but women always reciprocated, right? And right now, ninjas are doing any and everything for women, thinking that's gonna make them like or love them. When she hasn't shown you in any way that she likes you at all. But he thinks, if I keep doing this and if I keep doing that, she's gonna change my mind. She's gonna change her mind and she's suddenly gonna start loving me. Yeah. Stupid ass ninjas. Now I know this had nothing to do with simps. I just hate them niggas, bro. Yeah.
Sort of challenging all the values our parents had. I think it was sort of expected we'd have sex very early and just keep having sex with a lot of people.
That might be the most revealing moment in the entire documentary. This is the generation that rejected the map their parents handed them, not because they knew where the new road would lead, but because the old one felt restrictive. The thrill was in the rebellion. The long-term consequences came later.
Is sex something you see in your future?
Oh, of course. I mean, I'm only 40. Of course, yeah.
She said, I'm only 40. I love her confidence, man. I love it. I'm not going to lie. From she said 2 minutes, I mean, she already set herself aside. You know what I mean? She might not be all there when it comes to beauty, but we already know. She said 2 minutes, my ninjas. 2? Come on. Yeah, one of you ninjas need to find this Becky right here and then report back. Tell us how it went, you know what I mean?
What would be your ideal in terms of that?
Oh, just like a connection where you just feel so intertwined with the person and it just feels good. And there's the friendship there.
That shit ain't gonna happen. That shit ain't gonna happen. If that happens, it's gonna happen with somebody she knew from childhood. I find that real love and connection come from those when the days where you never experienced much. You know what I mean? You just like this person because you like them. Nothing else. There was no incentive behind anything like, oh, I want him to have a big house. I want him to have a nice job. I want to have a bunch of money. No. If the woman had just liked you at your core, just you being yourself. But that don't happen anymore, especially not at this age. She already built there's a blueprint in her mind of how she would want a man to be, and she's not going to be able to overlook that, my ninjas. That's the problem. That's why you find it's so hard for women in their mid-30s going on. It's very hard for them to get married and stay married because their mind is already made up.
The respect, there's the passion. I don't want the mechanical feeling of going through the motions of sex. That isn't sexy, it doesn't feel good, it feels like a waste of time to me. I want to feel so connected that it just feels like this amazing
Shit ain't gonna happen.
experience when I'm with that person.
There it is, the Disney princess fairy tale, straight from a 40-year-old woman's own mouth. Not just connection on its own, friendship, respect, and passion, all fully present, all intertwined, every single time. Or it feels like a waste of time. That's not a standard, that's a movie pitch. Remember our Oprah breakdown, where Esther Perel sat across from a woman describing this exact same mindset?
Because I think what I've been kind of fed my 26 years is that there's going to be a person that matches every single mark, right? And that what you bring to the table, that other person will match that.
Watch all them old hoes in the back shaking their head like, no, that's not gonna happen, girl.
Yeah. And that is a myth.
Perel didn't validate it. She called it what it is, a myth, not because connection isn't real, but because this specific version of it, the constant peak intensity, always amazing experience version, isn't how sustained intimacy actually works.
Nope.
It's a fantasy standard, and women holding out for it aren't holding out for love. They're holding out for a feeling that was never designed to last past the honeymoon phase.
Do you think your age affects your dating options at all?
Definitely not, because
I was really hoping she was gonna say yes. But I guarantee you, my ninja, she's gonna go into saying, you know, men are still checking for, they still want to smash. That's gonna be her reason. Watch, you see, watch. As soon as I press play, I guarantee you that's gonna be her reason. Watch.
I will say, ever since I turned 40, there are literally guys from the age of 25 to 60 that are interested. Not saying they're all interested. I'm just saying it's crazy, like just that whole broad spectrum of men that are interested in you because, you know, I don't think I look 40. I could be 30. I could be...
You see, I tell you, women lie for no reason. I don't think I look 40. Like, are we blind, man? Still 40. Yeah, still 40. Maybe I need glasses or some shit.
You know, I could be any age.
And here's the second half of why she's still single. She's not wrong that she's getting attention. She's wrong about what kind. Yes, Women in their 40s hit a wall, but the wall doesn't hit the way people assume. It's not that all attention disappears. Real published research on dating app behavior found men's desirability on these platforms tends to climb with age, while women's peaks much earlier and falls off from there. So a woman in her 40s can absolutely still attract an average man and a wide range of men interested in something casual. What she loses is the high status men, the ones with real options who date seriously. Those men trend younger every time. She's reading the width of her options as proof the wall doesn't exist. It's actually proof of exactly which part of the wall she's hit.
Just having that feeling of asking for what I wanted, not getting it, and then the second time getting what I wanted, I'm not that interested in going back on dating apps. I don't need a partner right now. I'm really happy. I'm sure if he walked in.
Because you're almost dead. She talking like she have a bunch of time left, man. It's just, like Grim is outside, probably just smoking his last cigarette, like, yeah, I'm about to go in here, clock out after this one, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, this old ass Becky, I was trying to give her some time because she said she wanted some more dick. I was gonna see if somebody gonna get her to fire some dust out that bit, but it don't look like it. So when I get done with this one, I'll pull her in and I'll take her where she needs to go.
Fine, but I'm not going to spend my time having those conversations anymore.
Are you looking to meet someone offline?
Not looking. If they walk in, that's fine. Not looking.
You have to look because they're not going to see you. We can't even see you. We just hearing the words that's coming out of your mouth. Come on. Be real with yourself. See, this is something. You see, 71 years old and still never learned to be real with herself. They still lying to themselves, even at that age, my ninjas. They never stop. Trust women. Boy, never do that shit.
Because I'm very happy on my own. I think one thing, it's about touch. I have real lack of touch in my life, and that was the other reason I sought out the escort and the erotic massage. But I found other ways now I can get sensual massage, and I think if I want to go back and have another sexual experience, I can go to the escort.
Freedom was real. Nobody in this documentary is arguing it should be taken away. But freedom was never the same thing as a plan. 50 years later, we're watching 3 generations of women independently arrive at the same realization. The thing they actually wanted, to be seen, to be known, to be loved, not performed at, not transacted with, was never guaranteed by more freedom. It was something that still had to be built. And here's the lesson for the men watching this. For decades, we've been told women should never settle. Fair enough. Men don't have to settle either. We get to decide what kind of dating culture we participate in. We get to decide what we reward. We get to decide what earns our commitment. Because the date...
You see? No, I could talk about simps again. You see, what he's saying there, yeah, that's true. But simps make that shit impossible. Yeah, because when a woman say, if you don't, someone else will, they're talking about them ninjas, bro. Real shit. They're why all the problems are here, right? Imagine a woman who was hungry. She don't have no work, but all she do is put a cash app in her bio. She wake up to $300, and that ninja put, I hope you're okay, queen. If you need more, let me know. Ninjas do that shit. That's why they in their mind, they say they're not gonna settle. Because a random ninja would do some dumb shit like that.
Market isn't shaped by one sex. It's shaped by both. And if you think this story ends with these 3 women, it doesn't. 1 in 7 Australians now say they could imagine falling in love with a chatbot. That's not a new problem. It's the same unanswered question, just with a new place to hide from it. Listen to all, follow none.
This was a good video. But yeah, my ninjas, real vibes. Look here, right? You know, I was asked a question. Guy said, common sense. What do I need to do to get a good woman in my life like you? I said, my ninja, you just have to be you and not be afraid to be you. And the woman who likes that version of who you are, the real you, treat her good and treat her bad at the same time. Yeah, you gotta mix it up. Okay, treat them good all the time. That's when they start looking for the ninjas, because they need that. They need the emo. Let me not get into all that. But yeah, that would be my advice, my ninjas. You know who you are. Be who you are. If you're single, and if you're looking for a woman, just be who you are, and don't be afraid to be a man. Right? Shit that you know you like doing. If she come in and say, oh, this and that, just tell her, well, go about your business. Yeah, let her know. It's easy for her to go. You don't need her, and that's when she'll want to stay. Women love a man who don't need that, my ninjas. Real shit. But yeah, that's all I was going to do tonight. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Like and subscribe, my ninjas.